Okay. People are asking me all the time, like, how do I get more interaction on my content, whether I'm making a Facebook post or a TikTok or an Instagram post? You're probably familiar sometimes with this feeling of like you're putting things out there and then you're like, but where is the interaction back? Like, am I just like putting this stuff into a void? Especially when you're first getting going with social media, or if you haven't been very consistent. We talked about consistency in the last email. If you missed that, be sure to check it out. We'll get a link here for you as well. So it's not fun, right? When you put out content and it's like people aren't interacting with it. Well, keep in mind that social media is a two-way street. And so other people are also putting out content too, and they're having those same feelings. Also, I want you to think about when you do have a follower of yours who leaves a comment, if you don't comment back to them, they're also having that same feeling. So the example I like to give is, let's say that you walk into, your favorite coffee shop and you're like, "Hi, how's your day?" And they're just like busy going about, and they hand you a coffee, right? Like they gave you a great coffee, but they don't answer your question. Well, what happens? Like you don't have good feelings about that coffee shop, you're not going to go back. So I want you to think about that on your social media. Are people reacting to your posts or to the content you're putting out? Are they giving you a heart or a like or something like that? If they are, send them a private message and be like, "Hey, Susan, I really appreciate how many times you've liked my posts. Is there anything I can ever answer for you? Or I just want to appreciate you and say thanks so much for your support for my business." That's an awesome thing you can do, right? Like reaching out to them specifically in a private message. The other thing is if somebody leaves a comment on your content, you need to respond back to them and to respond back to every single one of them. Right? If you're not getting like 500 comments on your post, this is absolutely sustainable. It's something that you can do. You want to start that two-way conversation. Now, let's say people aren't leaving a whole lot of comments on your post yet. That's fine. What I want you to do is to go out onto other people's posts. So that could be your client's posts, it could be people who are within that same space, who are service providers or product providers of what you do as well, or on some Facebook groups that are relevant to you and what you do as a business. And I want you to leave valuable comments on other people's posts. And one of my favorite things to do with this is to leave my reaction like, "Oh my gosh, that's really awesome. I love what you're doing there." And then ask a question so that it starts that conversation in the comments as well. And it shows that you are somebody who people want to connect with. You're interesting to connect with. You have value to offer. And people will notice. They are going to see you start showing up into those comments. And they're going to be like, "Oh, this is so interesting. Like Vivian always comments on these things. I wonder what she does. She seems like a really nice, interesting person. She always seems to have value to add to the conversation here. I'm going to click and go find out what she's all about." So, this is my challenge to you. Go look at your posts. Are there people on there who are constantly liking, hearting, giving it a reaction? Send them a private message and say, "Hey, I really appreciate you taking time to enjoy and like and react to my posts," even if they're people you know really well. So go appreciate them in a private message. If people are leaving comments on your posts, are you commenting back to them? Make sure that you are. And then when you're leaving comments back or you're commenting on other people's posts on their pages, make sure you're leaving a valuable content and maybe asking a question or making yourself available to them in some way. Remember, it's not all about you and your pages all the time. Get yourself out there. People will notice. They're going to appreciate it, and you're going to appreciate seeing your follower count climb as well too. All right, we'll see you guys for the next tip. Bye.